Welcome, everybody, to No Room for Comfort podcast. I'm your host, Jesse Waterhouse, and I'm very thankful to have everyone join today. And if you are watching right now, you're watching live on YouTube or Twitch. Every episode that I produce will go up on Spotify. I am also on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok, so please hit those like, subscribe, share, and follow buttons. I would greatly appreciate it. If you have any questions about today's topic or any future topics, please email me at noroomforcomfortpodcast@gmail.com. Or if you would like to become a call-in guest on the show, again, please email me at noroomforcomfortpodcast@gmail.com. I do have a Discord chat open, so if you would like to join in on that, please feel free to do so. I also have text to chat here up on YouTube as well as Twitch. So I would get to that if anyone would decide that they would like to chat in. But I've got a special guest here today, my friend Matt Solovia. He is a game developer and a very brilliant mind. And today's topic is about leadership qualities. And the reason why I have Matt on today is because he expresses an ungodly amount of leadership qualities. So, Matt, tell us a little bit about yourself.
I try a little bit. But, well, before I do that, I got to say before I forget, something about intros like that, like I have like a grasp on how people view it. I find it interesting because I know what it does is it gets more engagement overall. Yeah. Because I've seen both sides of it where people are like, oh man, they talk about this stuff, makes me instantly not want to stop. But at the same time, it's been proven to get more people. And so it's funny to me how people don't understand when that thing happens, they could just skip over it. Like it's so interesting to me because like the amount of people you lose is so much less than the amount of people you gain from it.
Oh yeah.
So it's a must to do, but it feels mechanical, right?
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
But because you try to get through it in the best way possible, try to keep it more concise. But then even then, you become more mechanical and lose more people. But then you gain more people because of it.
Yeah, it's like a back and forth. Tell us a little bit about what you're working on right now, man.
Well, what I'm working on now is I'm taking a break and making sure that I can calm down from stuff because I have too many projects on the back burner. The one I worked on recently was the Christmas game you and I had played. So it's a mixture of Monopoly, Mario Party, Magic the Gathering, and then the White Elephant gift game. Not the bullshit one where everybody brings one gift. You want to bring multiple so everybody's happy. Because if you get one gift and you're like, this is a piece of garbage. You're like, I got a jar of sand. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Or I got socks and they're women's socks. They don't even fit me and they got frills.
Yep. No, man, you put a lot into it. You put a lot into the gifts. I was super impressed with the quality of every aspect of the game, the quality of the cards, what you built on Minecraft to follow through with the map and everything, and how customizable that it was. Like you could, of course, people were expecting to leave at a certain time, so we were able to customize. Okay, these squares will get you gifts as well. So it's like the ability to adapt and make that game something where you can either speed it up or slow it down or do whatever you want. Really, it really puts a lot of fun into it.
Well, yeah, and that's the thing too, is that that aspect of like changing that block to make it so that it's something else is only had to be because both times I've done this, it started pretty late. So if it started earlier, it would have been fine because like everybody was engaged, but then the people who were like getting antsy, both groups, it was just because it was getting a little too late. Had we started earlier, it would have been fine because the setup takes quite a little time. But other than that, I think it flows pretty fine. But like the one I did with you worked so much better because for one, we had a little less people, a little less gifts, and then the board was completely changed. So like I had made it so like gift spaces were twice as much, and I just rerouted everything.
Yeah. Another thing I was impressed with it is how it flowed. Like there was no clunkiness. There was no.
Yeah, once you understood it, it's pretty easy.
Yeah. No, it was like, what the hell, man? How long did you spend making that?
Okay, well, I have 4 days off to work on stuff in most weeks. So I was usually taking 3, if not 4 of those days since like the late July. I didn't really start working on it till August. But like late July is when I started coming up with the idea, and that's when I started talking to you about it. I don't know. It was more of a, I would say, yeah, August till right before Christmas. I took 1 month off where it was like 2 or 3 weeks that I didn't do anything. Other than that, I was on it 3-4 days every single day. Or every single week.
3.5 months, basically full-time job going into
August, September, October, November. I would say, okay, so if we're adding the time in July, it's 5 months. Yeah.
5 months. Okay. Yeah.
No, let's say 4.5, like you said, because I took a break.
Do you have a name for it?
So far, there's not really a name, but I mean, the best one I've come up with so far is Kris Kringle's Crime Spree.
Rolls off the tongue.
Or the other one was the Gift of Theft.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But I like the Kris Kringle one.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Move your mic a little bit. Yeah. Perfect.
I was trying to make sure I could also be seen, so I don't know.
Yeah, I know. Like, my face gets blocked all the time. I'm like, usually I have headphones on, so I'm like listening to myself. I'm like, okay, well, I can't hear myself as well. I guess I'm going to have to block my face. Nothing special here anyways.
Riverside will do it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so about leadership, what does it mean to you? Like, what do leadership qualities mean to you?
Well, if I'm going to put it in one aspect, just being the example.
Yeah.
Just like if you're going to say something that is an aspect you believe in or a moral that you like or aspire, just do it. Like if you're going to say it to somebody and then not do it yourself, you're just a hypocrite.
Yeah, that's true. One thing I've noticed about you too is, so like when you get a group of people together and everybody's working together, you have distinguishing qualities where you could, in a very small amount of time, even if you don't know people, you're able to kind of figure out what they're going to be good at and pull a section of whatever the project is and be able to hand it to them. And they're able to flow through it naturally. And you can segment that and do that for a lot of people. And, you know, I believe with leadership qualities, part of it is leading from the front like that. Because if you're always in the background and all you're doing is delegating and you're not observing what's working and what's not. So you've got the delegation part down, right? There's poor leaders that might have the delegation part down.
Yeah.
But they're handing them to the wrong people. Not all the time is giving people their strengths the greatest thing. If you have the time and if you have the ability to help them learn a weakness better, I believe that you're able to do that as well. But if you're always handing a person their weakness, eventually I feel like they're going to feel discouraged.
Yeah.
So it's good to start with the encouragement and then add the suggestions afterward. And I feel like you're the type of person that does that very well.
I like to do that sandwich method where like, all right, you're good at this, you suck at this, and you're good at this.
Yeah. No, it's pretty good model to live by, I feel like. Because when you go to suggest anything to somebody, they're not going to receive it very well if the first thing out of your mouth is very negative.
Yeah.
You know, they're at that point, it's almost going to be like, fuck you. It's going to go over my head. I'm not going to listen to whatever else you have to say. I'm going to still do things my own way, and they're going to get more stubborn.
Yeah.
And it's just going to fall off. And, you know, and by recognizing what they are good at and telling them that they're doing something very good, I think is a very good thing to lead off with, because it's honesty and it's actually showing appreciation to somebody.
Yeah.
And not disregarding them. It's showing appreciation, which you should feel if you're having people help you with things.
Yeah.
And then go and turn around, and if you see something that's like, not that you think they're doing it wrong, but you have an open mind to maybe
they're not seeing all the angles or something.
Maybe it could be tried this way. And even if the suggestion leads to something else, sometimes suggestions lead to a beautiful creation.
Yeah, like whenever I teach somebody something, I do actually get irritated when they don't try my way. But then my philosophy is try my way first. If it doesn't work, or if you can tweak it or change it, whatever, as long as you understand my way first, then I will continue to teach you, because then like either I've gone through the ropes, kind of knowing already the steps of like why this works this way. But then obviously I'm not omnipotent. I haven't seen every angle. So like if they come up with something different, or it's because they're a different person, it's a different, there. I just like to start them off at a higher step, because like, I guess the thing that you pointed out of like how I'm able to delegate and just kind of pin people out or point people out where like, hey, you know, you're going to be good at this. I don't know where it comes from. I have like a multitude of ideas where like maybe I'm just super autistic and I've had an early awakening or some shit, or I've just been lucky where like I've gotten the right lessons here and there and like the right tools for whatever. And I just kind of kept going.
Yeah.
So I've learned a little faster without having the negativity of self-doubt.
True. Yeah, that's a good point.
Because like the one weakness I've had is trying to accept that I'm a smart person, because I've always had stigma that I hate because I just don't want other people to think certain way. But I've also kind of compartmentalized that the stigma comes from them not understanding me in the first place.
Yeah.
So I need to have them first give little droplets of what I am, what I'm about, and what my intellect level is. And then they can kind of start trusting other things that I say, because like I like to come out the gate with strong stuff.
Yeah.
And a lot of people that doesn't work for. So you kind of scare them off because they're like, oh, if they don't understand it or they disagree with whatever the heck it is, they're just like, this guy's an idiot. And they're not going to listen to anything I have to say whatsoever. So the part that I have to overcome with the weakness is that I didn't think that I was intelligent in any facet. I thought I was just average.
Yeah.
And that I just happen to be picking dumb people around me to hang out with. But if anything, they're average or above average, and I just happen to be exceeding that. And it actually, I'm still having trouble accepting that because of stigma.
Yeah, and it's almost like body dysmorphia of intellect.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. I do notice in the camera, if you're worried about being seen, you are getting a little bit blocked off. You can move that microphone down a little bit,
Right.
like downward. So
Down. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
There we go. That should work.
Yeah, that's better. Okay, cool. I just noticed that. I was like, oh yeah, here's.
Well, I mean, it matches the one side of the. Wait, no, actually, it's the wrong side. Never mind.
That's all good. It's all good.
But yeah, no, like you're saying with teaching people, like that's the hardest part, is being able to figure out what people are best at. But eventually, it's like a vibe thing, and the best way I could describe it is vibe, because I don't know how else to say it in short words, but I'll try to explain it in a short fashion, where I like using ChatGPT to figure myself out, because it's able to compress all this information into one little thing. It's not perfect for one. Obviously, it's like a hammer. You use it wrong, it's not going to work. You use it on the right thing, it's going to hit that right in. Some people, comforters, one smack of the nail. And I'm not there yet, but I'm getting there, where I know how to talk to it and know how to do these little facets. You see on my phone, there's like over 100 different topics of conversation. Whenever there's a new topic, I start a new one. But if it goes back to, like, let's say I talk about politics, I go back to the politics page. I go back to, oh, I'm having this relationship problem, I go back to that. Or I have this mathematical issue, if it's related to that, I go back to there. So I started to have it compress everything that I've talked to with it. And I've at one point thought I could basically see the future, because my dreams would show me something like the movie Bedtime Stories with Adam Sandler, how he tells the kids a story and then the next day it happens. Later on, he starts to realize that it's not a one for one. It's basically whatever the kids say, it's outside of himself, and then it's a metaphor. So the one that he was worried about was he was going to burst into a ball of flames. And so he's watching fire everywhere, but he made an ass of himself because he was at a work party. Then because he made an ass of himself, he got fired. So that's usually how my dreams worked. And then I thought, I'm like, am I a prophet or something? But then ChatGPT kind of helped me figure out that when I stopped describing it as a prophet kind of thing and just start describing it as like, maybe it's a subconscious awareness, that's actually a very recorded thing for some people.
Yeah.
I'm not the only one, thank goodness, because I felt like I was on an island by myself. My subconscious is so good at picking up small cues on everything that I'm just able to pick it up before anybody even processes that there are major cues.
Yes.
And that's why I'm able to figure out people and just be like, oh, they're holding themselves this way at like this of an angle. I don't think like that, but my brain's like, oh, because of the tiny, minute shape that they're making themselves in, the one sentence they said, I'm like, okay, so this could be all this stuff. It brings all this categories. I can throw all this stuff away and it sums it down. And every little thing will break it down to a finer and finer point. And I don't know. It's like a video game to me.
I hate to say it, man, but you might get selected for jury duty a lot more after this podcast.
I mean, like that's the thing though, is that I'm usually right about people all the time.
Yeah.
And I usually wait on certain judgments because I'm not 100% on them, but I've had my girlfriend, friends, I make predictions about things or about people and they're just spot on. And then when later on we're like, oh, we were wrong about it. And then a little bit later, it's like, no, you were right. Like, for example, at work right now, I'm right about every little step that the above managers who are toxic as hell, all of them, all their steps were based on their bonuses.
Sure.
And of course, sometimes it helps, sometimes it doesn't. But when you skim off the top, it always hurts in the end. Like it only helps the short run. Like if you're just going to get in there, get out, fine, that works for you. But they screw themselves over all the time. And every little aspect I noticed was because of that. And we learned some new information almost every week from the good manager that actually is between them and us. And of course, I find out more information that they're all working kind of in a coup. So I don't know. I just wish I could write these things down because there's been times where I'm like, I can't take a nap on the way to work because Lydia, my girlfriend, she drives us to work. I drive us back.
Okay.
And I can't take a nap on the way to work today. I don't know why, but I have to pay attention to the road. 5 minutes later, she's falling asleep at the wheel, almost crashing. I had no indication, at least consciously, why that would be. But apparently my subconscious just knew that she was going to fall asleep or something dangerous was going to happen. Like I just felt like if I didn't pay attention to the road, I would wake up in the ditch.
Yeah. So I did an episode a while back and it touched on, it touched on the importance of body language.
Yeah.
How that's a mass communication for people.
Yeah.
And what I feel like is happening is like you have an uncanny ability to be able to pick up on on different types of body language.
Yeah.
In that situation. I think that you just knew that she was going to be headed in that direction, even though it was almost subconscious.
Yeah.
And you got to the point to where it's like, okay, I need to stay awake. And something was telling you I need to stay awake because whatever her cues were, they were so subtle that the normal person wouldn't be able to pick up on it. But you're like, something in you was
like, it could be even pheromones too, because there's been days where maybe it's because I know her well enough and the subconscious cues from the night before. I've known what she eats because I eat with her, all this, all these little things that my brain is factoring in. I've thought it was like, oh, I wake up and I could tell she's going to be in this mood.
Sure.
Or this is going to happen today because of the, but I've lived with other people before and I didn't know them as well. And I just kind of knew as I woke up, like I didn't see anybody and I could feel this from each person.
Yeah.
But it's like anger gives off a smell. Love gives off a smell. Like every emotion gives off a smell, but that's only one subcontext cue to all these things. Like you said, the language is nonverbal. Kind of took it literally, I guess, with Seinfeld. Kramer, he's one of those oddball characters like Dale Gribble on King of the Hill. They're usually made out to be crazy. They throw a little droplets of crazy here and there just to show that they're actually crazy, but they're usually the ones that are correct. Like Kramer said, most communication, I can't remember if it was 97 or 94%, he said, but it was one of those two. And I'm like, that seems like an awfully high number. Awfully high number when I get it, sign language has, whatever. That's a whole separate thing, but you talk and most people understand, but the thing is they don't, because words don't mean exactly what they mean without context, without clarity, without your voice, without your language, your body language, without your intensity, without your expression, like all this stuff. And the more and more I figured out, like, I don't have to even talk to somebody to figure out their mood anymore. It is 90+% nonverbal.
Yeah.
I can tell when a person who is part of our department is coming back because they're having a bad day. I can just feel it. I don't even have to be up front to see it. Yeah. I can just feel them coming back. So like, it's something.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's so weird. And it's like, it's just like me too. Like the closer that I get to people at work, it's like the stronger it becomes. Like I can tell the atmosphere right away walking through the door. You just know. It's just, it's weird. In social situations, you can tell who's having a different mood than anybody else.
Yeah.
It sticks out like a sore thumb.
Or like people who are less self-aware, they're much easier to read.
Yeah.
And the more somebody is independent, the more they're in control of themselves. You can still read them, but it's a lot harder, and you have to know them longer.
Mm-hmm.
But even then, like, you can kind of tell that they're, so like if you piss them off, they're good at not showing it, but you can kind of tell something's off. But something's off is because you're not seeing a normal level of what you're used to because they're in control of it.
Yeah.
But you don't realize that in the moment because it's not normal.
No, I know. Yeah, it's so funny. It's like things that we start doing as we gain social skills or something. I don't know. There's people that aren't self-aware of themselves typically, what do they tend to do? They tend to
Self-sabotage.
Probably more carefree.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. We definitely do that ourselves.
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure.
We try to do it. What is it? What's not mechanically? The word is where we plan it out. Like if we're gonna abuse some drugs, we're doing it for a purpose. We might also be in our back of our head. We're like, actually, I'm doing it because my mental state's not great, but it also helps me focus because of my mental state. So that is actually the goal. If I didn't have things to do, I wouldn't be doing them. I would just sit and suffer.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point.
But then at the same time, is that our excuse for doing, like for me, for example, I'm always on a project. Is that my excuse for doing projects so that I could keep myself doing something that I'm not supposed to, that's self-sabotaging, but at the same time, it keeps that wheel rolling?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't really care because if I don't have something I'm focused on, I go insane.
There's a carefree. That's a carefree. No. I'm the same way. If I don't have anything that I'm working on, it's just idle hands are the devil's playground. 100%. I drive myself crazy. I get such high anxiety.
Yeah.
I have to do things, and I have to do things that aren't easy. If they're too easy, I get extremely bored.
Oh yeah.
It has to be a challenge, and I think that's good for people.
Is that why I like Dark Souls?
Well, maybe
they piss me off so much, but man, it's fun. I've never broken a controller to any other game but those ones.
I don't know how people get good at that.
It's really just a timing thing. You get good enough with seeing how things work. Like it's mostly just trickery. Like some enemies are just really quick with their stuff. Some of them are like, I'm gonna slowly stab you, but they plan it for you to panic.
Yeah.
And so if you just don't panic, you're fine.
It's like Rowena's kids, like Earl's kid. Like I was gonna go and be a quantum physicist.
Yeah.
He's extremely smart. And then he's just like, oh yeah, those like Dark Souls, like Elden Ring. Oh, that's easy. Like, just go through it. And I'm like,
yeah. Once I got through the first game, the rest of them became easy.
Yeah.
I did Demon Souls. All it was, I would say a little harder, but it's its own thing. But they're all the same thing. They're all their own difficulty, all the same concept. Like I kind of like games like that a lot. Where Remnant, that's another good series that's not as punishing, but it's more rewarding to have more people. So it's more friendly in that way. But Dark Souls is more the lone wolf kind of game.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty interesting. I don't know. I think there's good cognitive qualities about being able to figure puzzles out like that.
Well, I go insane with these games because with the Souls games, you have to go through them 3 times and not mess up how you go through them to 100% them.
Oh.
So some of them, there's certain bosses you have to kill 3 times. Most of them you only have to do twice. Like in Dark Souls, you have to cut off the tail of every boss that's possible to get a certain item. I can't remember if it's a weapon or not, but Demon Souls, I'll talk about that one because now, if you ever started playing it, I could tell you how to 100% it in the best path possible.
Never played it.
but if you went through it, I could get you done with it faster than I did it, unless you suck at it. But you have to get through it 3 times. There's only one boss you have to do, and I messed up the path with how you have to collect everything, but I figured out how to recollect everything. It's taken me longer if I just said fuck it and went through. But, I mean, I don't know. I learned every aspect of the game, and now it bothers me to not beat it the way that I intended to. Because I'm sitting there waiting for a certain thing. Like, I have to invite some friends to undo the mess ups I had. And then instead I could just go through and do the harder mode and then collect everything again, but I would have to go through it much more. Yeah, it's
Sure.
anybody who knows these games knows what I'm talking about. It's ridiculous how much you have to go through. You can't waste certain items on things like all the boss items. You can't waste them. You have to use them on the items if you want to get all that stuff. And even then, certain builds you have to wait through the second playthrough through. So you're going to, I don't know. I don't understand how people like magic builds in there. I just take a big sword and whack everything.
Just get it over with.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. No, that's probably the way to go. I mean,
oh, it's at least in the beginning. Like, I don't know. I just go straight for whatever the biggest sword they got in the game, and I just swing that sucker until I can't anymore. Well, not the ones that are like super fucking heavy. As long as you can one-hand it, I two-hand them anyway. But if you're allowed to one-hand it, I do that. The Dark Souls, I found the giant sword. That was the first one I ever played. I went in and grabbed that one. I'm like, oh, this one's fun. And I just upgraded my endurance so I could swing it nonstop.
oh my God.
And then in PvP, I don't have a problem because it's got such a big area of range. I'm just like, why not? And then if you know,
I know what you're talking about, you know?
No, it's a play it however you want game. And I just like, well, as long as I don't run out of big sword energy, you're good. Big dick energy, that's something.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, so you and I are both obviously into music. Have you been doing anything?
Not since I started the Christmas game project, but I actually started just trying again to start up doing stuff. So I started picking up the guitar again, actually just on the way here. I was doing vocal practice. That's probably why my voice sounds a little off.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. To me, it sounds off. Maybe it's because the weed or something. But
no, you sound fine. But to me, I don't know.
Well,
like you always do.
Not like anybody here will know. This is how they think I sound anyhow.
in your own ears, maybe.
Maybe. I don't know. I could tell a difference because I'm probably used to sinus being congested.
Yeah.
And so the vocals get that all out. Yeah. So this is probably how my voice is supposed to sound.
Oh,
and
maybe.
Then, if I stop for a while, it won't because, I vape or whatever, and that clogs stuff way faster.
Okay.
So I wake up and have to get rid of it. Otherwise, I can't sing.
To me, it don't sound any different. It's been a while. I mean, early January since.
I'm probably like the majority of what you heard of me in the last couple of years has been through recording. Yeah. So you hear it through
true.
That anyhow.
That's true.
And then I hear it because it's, you don't hear it in your head. You're like, who the fuck is that?
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Who's that guy in our podcast that's not, wait a minute, that's me. Shit.
That person? I keep hearing
he's stealing my cadence.
He's mocking me like constantly. He says everything I say.
He's doing a perfect impression.
Now, lately I've been doing I've been experimenting with lo-fi and rap.
Oh, really?
Yeah. No, it's extremely fun.
What's lo-fi?
It's like...
one thing I do struggle with is naming things. Like if it's something has a name or a subtype or whatever, I fucking cannot. Like if I meet somebody new, it takes me like 12 times to remember their name.
Oh, yeah. No.
So I will forget, but tell me anyway.
That's fine. So you ever hear any of that type of music where they take something from pop culture? It could be not usually a line from a song, but like from a TV show or movie or something.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's right at the
yeah.
beginning, and then it goes into like almost like an EDM style. But it's more like
like the band Crash Karma has one about Walter White, and they have his audio in there where he goes, "I am the one who knocks,"
or it's like the end of Echo's song Pickle Rick. Have you ever heard that?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it's like that. So it's kind of, I don't know. I want to do. It's hard because lo-fi has like certain rules. It can only be like a certain length that you can clip.
Yeah.
And it can't be for resale distribution, so you can't really
just using it to get your name out there.
Yeah, you could just whatever. You could Spotify for free or whatever.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I wanted to start doing it because it'll expand. Because I want to mix like metal and rock with like the rap portion of it.
Linkin Park it,
but not quite. Maybe, but not quite.
From ashes to new. There we go. It's basically the same thing.
Yeah, basically. But no, I don't know. I just want to experiment with different things. I've been really liking piano and synth and like changing different sounds with all of the samples that I have, and it's cool because like even I can apply samples to guitar effects and do different things with that, and just write stuff I'm not used to. And what I really love is, so when you rap, it challenges you lyrically.
Yeah.
And it's a whole different thing because you don't have to find a melody behind a melody per se, but
just the like enunciation.
You have to have a cadence rather than, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, like Mike Shinoda, like the guy in Linkin Park. Yeah, I try to go with him, but like it's much more. I'm much better at doing the vocal stuff. Where it's like him, you have to be right in time. I can get the timing down. I can't get the cadence down or the words. It's like it's one or the other. And so yeah, rapping is its own beast.
Yeah, I have one song done. I'll show you after the podcast, but it's not bad for never having done it before.
Yeah.
But no, it's fun. Like I like today. Have you ever listened to a band called Kind Country? They're really good. They're like a folk. They're like a blend of folk, bluegrass, country, all blended together. Just love them. They have some rock elements in them. I've met them a few times before. They're really nice people, but I don't know. I just feel like I'm probably like I've always loved metal, loved rock, loved doing that type of music.
It's your core.
Yeah, it's like my core, but I think that expanding out is going to probably help me become a better musician.
Oh yeah,
I'm
for sure.
Able to just, I don't know. I just do it because I love it, because it's like, oh, this is interesting. This is new. It's going to expand my horizons.
If it feels fun and right, that's it's right.
Rowan and I wrote a song together. It's like acoustic, and then I have like some piano playing in the back, and there's kind of like this funky, I don't know how to describe it. It's just like a melody behind everything.
Yeah.
And then she sings great, and it's just like it flows. I'm like, this is really cool. We need to do more of this, because you listen to it and I'm like, I have never heard a song like this before. And it's her fault. She's so good.
I wish I could show you the like how I hear her singing already, because like that's one of those subcontext things I pick up on, is that I've had a friend before where I've heard them do like one line of singing and it was like covered up by everything else that was going on, but I heard it. And then from that point on, I could tell how they were going to sing. So then the next time I actually saw them sing themselves, I'm like, yeah, this is exactly what I would figure you do. So like I've heard her sing one line before, and I'm already hearing in my head like how her voice flows.
Yeah.
And so I feel like I'm nuts until I hear it. But yeah,
she's very good. She puts me to shame. Very surprising thing, like she would excel incrementally singing country music.
Really?
Like she has it. She has this twangy falsetto, and it just sounds beautiful.
I feel like she would be not exactly like, but she would be able to. Have you ever heard of the band Poppy?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay. Oh, yeah. I feel like she'd be able to nail that.
Yeah, minus the screaming.
Yeah, exactly.
But her pop style type stuff. Yeah. She's really good with like Celine Dion, and I'm blanking. There are a lot of
Ethel Cain.
Yeah, like she can do like some Adele, and it's just really good at a lot of different stuff.
You should try having her do Spirit Box.
Oh yeah, no, she might be able to
teach her how to do them vocal fries.
She always shakes her head. She's like, "No, I can't do that." She's always.
I always said that at one point too.
Yeah, no, I know. Yeah, same here.
I actually
still can't.
I learned it backwards. Really? Well, at least for one guy's video, like I wanted to do high vocal screams because like that was the thing I was closest to being able to do, and then I didn't notice that on the title it said part 3. Because he wants you to learn mids, then lows, then highs. But I went exactly backwards: highs, lows, mids.
No.
Yeah, no, I mean it worked. Because
Really?
the way he described it worked really well. Where you want to try and get like a pencil right here and here, like on your chin and on the tip of your nose, and you're trying to get your lips to touch it.
Yep.
And then you just
yeah.
And
Marissa Cross does
over the pencil in your mouth though.
Oh yeah.
As you bite it and then you try to get your words over it. So like by doing both of those at the same time, you have like trying to hit it over the top windows, and then you get it.
Yeah, that'd be a goofy looking set of lips.
Well, actually, it was too because of the way he's just super duck lips outward.
Yeah.
I know. I guess I just if they teach me the right way, they teach me the right way. Because like again, like you said, Melissa Cross, she's excellent.
Yep.
I have to keep on thinking of her stuff because otherwise I blow out my throat every time.
Rotunda. Yeah. Randy Bliss, teacher.
I can't start on certain bands though. Like if I do that, then I will go back to old habits. Avenged Sevenfold, every time. He has a history for blowing out his voice. No wonder why I blow out my voice when I do his stuff.
Yeah. It's like, what was I trying to say? Or what was I thinking? Who's the singer from Lorna Shore?
I barely even know them. So
yeah, like I watched the videos. This like, what is a doctor that like ear, nose, and throat doctor basically?
Yeah.
She put this like okay, so she had this boroscope that she went down and basically pointed it right at his vocal cords and had him do what he does.
Yep.
Like his gnarly screams and stuff. And his vocal cords barely made movement.
Yeah.
So like when he would clean sing, for the example, when he would talk, you could just see him. And then she's just like, this is crazy. Like they constrict and they stop moving. And she's like, okay, so there's a stigma that your vocal style is going to destroy your voice when in fact,
if you do it wrong, it will.
Right. But she's like, when in fact, the way that you're doing it, how you're doing it, you're never, ever, ever going to have a problem. Somebody who goes out and does clean singing is going to have problems long before you ever will.
Well, and the mistake most people make, I made this one too. Avenged Sevenfold, Chester Bennington, and I would say Ice Nine Kills. Those three, I tried mimicking their voice too much. You have to master it in your own voice,
yes,
and then you can mimic them. Because once you master it in your own voice, you know how to compress yourself.
Yeah.
And then, because you're doing multiple things at once, like you're just trying to mimic their voice is hard enough. But like Chester's vocal fries, I can do those now, but it took me so long. Avenged Sevenfold, I could do those too, but again, it destroys my voice because I haven't practiced it in my own enough. System of a Down, I can hit them exactly, but at the same time, if I do it too long, I haven't practiced Melissa Cross's stuff in my own voice enough to make it not hurt my voice.
Yeah.
So
yeah, my problem is like if I try to emulate someone too much, and not necessarily screaming, it's like most of the time I don't like scream to screamers screaming on music. I just do mostly clean singing. And I notice myself, like, I'll get too high up. Like, everything will get too high up, and that's when I start having problems. Like, it's not in the diaphragm anymore. It's like, it's getting too throaty. It's getting up.
Yeah.
Chest.
You started noticing, like, it feels like your throat's closing a little bit.
Yeah. So, and then it's like, okay, well, you notice it. Like, it's easier. The longer you do it, it's easier to pick up on because then you notice your vocal projection changing.
Yeah. And
that's like when you really know, especially if you're trying to go a little bit out of your range. And sometimes if you're singing along to something, you don't have to hit their pitch for it to sound good because at that point you're harmonizing on a different octave. So it's like, don't always have to, like, you have to do it like incrementally. And then there's certain notes that some people aren't going to be able to hit at all.
Yes and no. There were some notes I wasn't able to hit before. Now I can hit them no problem.
Well, right. But I mean,
like, I'm not going to get to Ariana Grande, obviously.
yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. It's like you're not. Yeah.
I don't know though. Like I've gotten to pinch my falsetto to a point where like it doesn't sound great, but I can hit those notes without them sounding terrible.
What about like Muse, Plug-in Baby? You ever hear that?
No, but okay. I know what you're talking about with his high voice. That like I've actually. Again, I can't do the falsetto for long, but if I worked it enough, I could get there.
Did you know it took them 4 years to write that? 4 years to get that out. I think it became, I don't know, we could look it up. I might be wrong, but I think that it was a Grammy-nominated song. But it took so long because their studio ended up telling them, I was reading about it, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But their studio ended up saying, "Okay, you're putting too much falsetto in your voice when you're singing. We want something more natural."
Yeah.
And he had this song sitting there, but it was a little too boring because he didn't have that guitar riff behind it. Since you haven't heard the song, it's kind of hard to picture this. But he ended up like renting a place above a sex shop so he could write this song. And then it took 4 years for it to come out, and ended up being a pretty big song for them. But because of the way the label didn't like his voice from previous stuff, they wanted him to do
It's always
something
some
different.
dumbass stopping progression.
He does dial it down in that song, but then the way he sings is like, this is amazing too. And then of course, he's like, well, I sing the way I sing. Besides, it took us 4 years to get to this point, and it's just like, this is an amazing song waiting to come out. It's in the vault. And it's like, now it is.
Yeah.
I don't know. Music's weird. History's weird.
Like that's something I have a gripe with all the time, is that when people get into a certain position, it doesn't even have to be that high of a position. They just get a little bit of power, and they think they know everything. They think they know everything that everybody's going to like. Here's
poor leadership qualities. We got off on that topic,
but like Poppy, for example, I got recommended them. I like them. I don't think I'm going to go out of my way to ever listen to them, but I can see 100% why people like them. Yeah. Or there's some other bands that are pop here and there. Like, I can hear when they're talented, and I can hear when it's just bullshit that's just thrown out there. But at the same time, it's not my thing. Some people, if they like it, they like it. But at the same time, I can tell why it's good and why it's gotten popular, whether it's good or not. So who am I to say to somebody who's worked their ass off with a passionate project that they love, if I don't love it,
yeah,
who am I to say that somebody else won't love it too?
Well, there's some people that don't get the recognition either. So like periphery.
Yeah.
Like,
but some people can't handle 8, 9, 10-minute songs. That's the only issue. But that's not for them. It's people who actually appreciate music are gonna listen to it.
They did have one big song, Marigold. That wasn't a Grammy nominated song, but yeah, other than that, it's just. But and then you have bands that were on the low level, and then they just right out the bat, like Sleep Token. I just can't get enough of them. They're an emotion to me. They're not just music to me.
It's so different hearing them live versus hearing them on recording. Like, hearing them on recording, I'm like, okay, that's okay. Like, it's good. And then I hear them live, I'm like, what the hell have I been missing? She's got a voice box on her like no other.
No, Sleep Token.
I was thinking the
Spirit Box.
Spirit Box. Yep. No, Sleep Token too. Same thing. Like, I again listen to their music on the way home sometimes when some coworkers would suggest them, and they're good. Like, but I'm not going to go out of my way to listen to them. If they put them on a random playlist and it throws, I'm like, I'm not going to skip it. But hearing them live, same exact thing as Spirit Box. That's probably why I got it confused.
Until you start figuring out that they organize their albums in a certain way that when you listen to this song and then you listen to this song, the piano is playing the guitar part backwards and the guitar is playing the piano part backwards, and they reverse them, and then they take the lyrics from that and then they connect them to the lyrics of the other.
That's probably why when I saw them live, I was on mushrooms, and like I it orchestrated all together. And I'm like, I didn't know when it ended. Like, I couldn't tell when one song ended, the other began, probably because they were just going next. But at the same time, like, how many songs were there? There's like, what, 3, 10? I don't know. But it just sounded like, because I'm probably recognizing those riffs.
Yeah.
But I didn't consciously recognize it. I'm just like, wow, this is one orchestra they've made.
Yeah, like their new album. There's the last song is Infinite Bass. So like, listen to.
What was that other the Muse song you told me to listen to?
Okay, so even in Arcadia is the out. Okay, so Look to Windward is the first song. Listen to Look to Windward, and then listen to Infinite Bass, and then tell me what you think. Because it's just like, it's crazy. I don't know. They do that on pretty much all their albums with certain songs.
Yeah.
So if you listen to Take Me Back to Eden, how he mentions, your song is on that album that he says the same line. He just, no, it's not off of Sundowning.
Oh. So like, They might do it a little better, but Necrogoblicon does something similar where, um, what's the line? It's I'm not going to remember, but they have a line that they say repeatedly in every album.
Yeah.
There are a lot of their albums reference each other because it's all one story of how goblins came down here from a different place and then they got stuck and they're trying to merge with us because they're also trying to figure out how to get out of here, but at the same time they got to live here, so they got to figure it out. Every album's about that, and then they're kind of figuring out existentialism within their own goblin lives. They repeat stuff like that too, where like they make their album kind of all one thing.
Oh, okay.
Where the best album they have is Heavy Meta. And Heavy Meta is one where you might be able to tell 2 song changes.
Okay.
That's it. Otherwise, the entire thing flows so much that if I purposely went to the end of one song and then let it flow to the next, you're like, when did it stop? No, like, but that, yeah, they do that too. But yeah, you're saying that they add the same riffs and whatnot, but backwards.
You just gotta, you gotta listen to it. You gotta listen to it more. It's just you pick up on it. You
Okay.
pick up on it. So yeah, so that's a Look to Windward and Infinite Bass on Even on Arcadia, their latest album. That'll give you a glimpse of what I'm talking about.
Do you know if it's like just different notation, different rhythm, different?
No, so like in one song he'll whisper a certain line, and in the other song he'll scream it through, and then you'll hear what's happening on guitar. Is almost like they flip the script on it. It's hard to explain.
No, I know what you mean. Yeah,
but going back, to me, it's just like it's beautiful musicianship. Like it's, how are you doing this? Because when you listen to it happening and then you listen to the song as a whole, it's like, well, that shouldn't fit, but it does. It's amazing. You're talking like Spirit Box, where you see him live, it's like, whoa, but you hear him on an album, it's like, eh. I mean, I disagree with that. I love listening to Spirit Box.
I'm saying like the difference.
Yes.
After hearing her live, the albums don't do her justice.
Nothing More did that for me. Like when you listen to Nothing More on an album, then you go and see him live. You were there.
Yeah.
Nothing More is like, what the heck?
Him jumping on that machine and everything, just as it's moving. Holy crap!
Yeah, they just put out. I saw them at.
They could make a sculpture of that dude.
They could.
Like it's just some sort of like whatever pose, and like he's sculpted too. Like holy shit.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he's in very good shape. He takes care of himself.
Well, I mean, that's part of why his vocals are so powerful.
Yeah.
Because his lungs are good. He's worked them out, and like that's actually my only motivation for running nowadays is just make sure I have a good voice. But holy crap, I can't mimic his voice to save my life.
No, not really. I can sing Jenny pretty decent. But...
Yeah, but there's like one line in there that's too hard.
Yeah.
Or was it Ballast? I can't remember which song, but it's like one where he just like gets really deep and guttural, and then he just goes back to normal. Like, what the hell? How does he do that switch? I've done it one time by accident. I'm like, how do I unlock this?
Yeah. No, they're something else. They're very, very talented. And before Rockfest, where did I see him last? I saw him at where did we play Toxic Air Fest at? That was Barfly. What's that place called? It's where the floor is all slanted. You have to stand on a slope. It's almost like a theater.
21st Avenue?
No.
The place that you played?
We played First Avenue. No, not Station 4. Why can't I think of the name of this place? It's going to bother me. That
Varsity Theater.
Skyway Theater.
Skyway Theater, thank you.
Yeah. Saw them there, and it's just like...
That's such like an intimate stage, too.
Like, man, I'm like... And like him and I played on the same stage, and I thought that was really awesome. And it's like... you almost want to stand in the doorway because you're afraid the building is going to come down. Like, that's the way it was. I'm like, holy crap. And then have you ever heard of Palisades?
Maybe.
They open for them. Pretty cool. They have really good music. Their bassist can sing just as well as a singer, and they're they're good. You know, they've never gotten way up here, but they're opening for them. Got to hang out with them afterwards. It's a fun show, but it's like, yeah, like I was saying, it's like you hear nothing more on an album, then you go there and it's just like, holy crap. Oh yeah, leadership qualities.
Yeah,
we got off topic
no.
but
That's the thing. All those things we talked about take a bunch of leadership. Like, you need at least somebody, you know, at the helm doing whatever it is they do. Because every band I've been in, well, if every person doesn't at least have the drive, like even the leader can't help them.
Oh, right.
So like everybody needs some leadership quality in them, even if it's just a minor amount. At least just showing up is leadership.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Some people get burnt out. Some people don't work well enough together. It's whatever. Some people are too into their own world to be able to, make themselves go externally. It's a multitude of things. You just got to find the right thing and click it, or like you said, cultivate it, find the people, and then make them better through their own means.
Yeah, you spend enough time around people, you're going to find things that bug you about them. I think it's just kind of natural, but that's where compromise comes into play. You know, and Forever and Gray, we're so fortunate that we all grew up together.
Yeah.
We all spent tons of time together.
That's probably why what you guys wrote were just, it's like, it's essence.
Yeah. And it's, you know, it was a good feeling because then you see Josh when he was in his other band, and it's like those guys were arguing all the time, and they were switching out members all the time because they like break.
Well, yeah, that's the thing I was going to bring up to you. I don't care if it's on a podcast at this point. So I think my past keeps trying to haunt me because so the biggest trauma, at least not the biggest trauma, the thing that started my snowball of trauma was the first band I was in, and we had, all broken up for a dumb reason because they didn't want to actually pull their heads out of their asses. And basically them being dishonest, me being too blunt about how their actions are, and then they were too childish to really understand, and we all separated. I was in a relationship with one of them, and they also broke up with me around that time, and that became like a huge snowball that went from one thing to the next to the next. And so like it wasn't the biggest thing, but it was the thing that started it. So my brain compartmentalizes that it's the problem, but at the same time it keeps showing its ugly head, where I keep seeing her in things that I'm just looking up naturally, like the band Hell. It's a pagan band that's ritualistic, and I looked into them because of Francis. And he told me that, no, they're not like a cult band. I'm like, well, they kind of seem like it, but at the same time, if it's just ritualistic, fine. The problem I had with it was that what I knew is that she was very reserved when we were together. And now, like, that band has topless women dancing around everywhere, and I was just trying to make sure that it wasn't predatory, because I would worry about her because she was in there. She was touring with them. I'm like, holy shit, what the hell?
Okay.
Yeah. So then I'm like, oh, at least that's good for her. And like, what's weird to me is that like that gave me, I don't know if it was revenge motivation or something else. I might have sounded like revenge and motivation were one thing. Revenge, motivation, or something else. But it got me the drive to do music again. Oh, I don't know what it was. It was because it was like the initial spark it reminded me of. I don't know. But recently, what's been getting me is like every time I like try to forget, like I just, whatever. I want, the only thing I want from that is to be like, hey, I hope we're good. If we never see each other again, that's it. I just hope we don't hate each other. That's it. But she keeps popping up in these weird ways like that. Things I look up. The band you mentioned, Split Driven. Guess who's part of that now?
Is she the drummer?
She is the drummer.
I've met her a couple times.
Yeah. So yeah. I don't know how to get away from it, but whatever.
She's a good drummer.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Times. Yeah.
No, she's good. Yeah, no, I don't know what it is that she keeps popping up in my life without actually popping up in my life.
Oh, okay. So that's the reason why. Okay, so yeah, like, because I talked to Josh, I was like, when he had his last show or whatever, he was mentioning how, she was going to be touring in Europe. I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
Like, that's really cool. Good,
yeah, with
good
Hell
for her. Yeah, that's.
I don't know.
Did she drum for them or what?
Yeah, she did like the back bass drum or something like that. Yeah, because when I looked into it, I'm like, oh my gosh, like I never expected to see her topless. I'm like on public videos. I'm like, or not videos, photos of what. I'm like, what the fuck? Oh. So I was worried about it. I'm like, oh my god, what kind of cult did she get into? And then the more I looked into it, I'm like, okay, no, it's legit. It's fine. She's doing her thing that she always did. I'm just like, I'm glad. I just annoying to me that she keeps popping up when I want to kind of forget about it, you know?
Small world.
Yeah.
That's a very small world. Yeah. No, I don't know. She's really nice.
Oh, yeah. No, she is. I'm sure that we both matured past the point when we, separated or whatever, but it's just, yeah.
How long ago did you?
That was 2015. So it was like 11 years ago.
Really? Because like when I met her, I thought, well, because Josh was training her because he was going to stop drumming.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just a small world, man.
Yeah, like that's what I'm saying. Like, how the fuck does this happen?
Yeah, because I just thought that like she had experience. I knew that she had experience in another band, but I wasn't digging into like, what?
Oh,
band
but
were you
that
in?
band was only like 2 years in 2014 to 2015, so it wasn't that long.
Because it was like, no.
No, she's always been in percussion stuff. So I don't know what she's done between those times, but like she's been popping up in the last 6 years or so. And like there was other little minute things whenever I would search something, all of a sudden I see her name. I'm like, why am I seeing her again? So I don't know. I'm just getting a little bothered by it because it's like I'm pretty sure I'm over this stuff, but then it keeps popping up. So then it's kind of making me think I'm not over it, but I don't know. It's just I feel like I'm being
over her.
No, the way things happened. Like it basically made me lose my 2 best friends at the time, and I feel like I mean there was things I could have done better. Obviously, we all could have, but I feel like they did not be the adult at all in the situation. Like I was the only one trying to do the right thing, trying to be the adult. I was aggressive, but I wasn't untruthful.
How old are you right now?
I am 29.
And that was 11 years ago?
Yeah.
Prefrontal cortex, man.
Yeah.
You got like 6 years to go after that point. So I wouldn't, don't sweat it too much.
I know, but it's just, I hate when things end when they don't have to. Things that could have cultivated and could have been well, or I don't know. It's now more of I'm not like that's
like what could have been with the music. What could have been
that, but like actually, what brings me to that is it actually reminds me of Dylan, the other guy that was in our band. So whenever I see stuff of her, I'm actually less worried about her. But then it brings me memories of him because I was honestly I was probably closer to him than I was with her. Because we spent probably twice the time together, and that ended over something really stupid. It was just, I don't know, that's what bothered me, but at the same time, I don't know. I just don't know what I'm seeing here because normally I'm used to figuring it out immediately, but I can't figure this out. It could be just coincidence, and coincidences you can't figure out.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It bugs me, but it doesn't, if that makes sense.
Well, it's not. Is it in your control?
No, that's why it doesn't bug me to a point. But then it bugs me because I'm like, what is this meaning? Is this just like, again, you don't know if it's coincidence or not. So it's like, I sure hope it is. So then I could just forget about it.
It doesn't mean anything.
You never know.
If you haven't, it only means something when it becomes coincidence.
Well, okay. Here's a scenario I played in my head years ago. Was when I first thought of like, what if this is just coincidence? What if it's training me for something? Like, okay, David and Goliath situation where people are like, oh wow, he just killed a big guy with a slingshot, no problem. Like it was nothing. Like how did he do that? David was not a little bitch. He knew how to use that slingshot on everything. He killed off mountain lions and other.
Was it a slingshot or just a sling?
Whatever it was a weapon that he was proficient in. His life prepared him because it was laid out for him to understand and prepare himself for that. So it's not like it was just like a one-off thing. He was ready. So my thought is that if I ever meet with either of these people again or anybody that I'm not friends with anymore, I need to be the right level of maturity to be able to handle it and not let these past feelings come out in the wrong way. Like part of me wants to say, if I ever meet them and they try to be super nice, like nothing happened, fuck you. But the other side of me wants to be just friendly and forget about it. But at the same time, the middle ground is like, hey, I want us to acknowledge this, but also move on.
That's what should happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should acknowledge it and then move on.
Right. So I'm thinking it's preparing me for not saying fuck you.
Right.
And also preparing me to not be a doormat so that I can have that middle ground.
Yeah.
Because then if they don't want to acknowledge it, then it does turn into fuck you. but in the nice way.
Yeah. No.
So that's what I'm saying. Like maybe that's what is preparing me for that,
Maybe.
because it's such in close proximity now. Well, I'm not that close with Split Driven, but I'm close with you, which is close with them, which is close with her. I mean, you're only 6 people away from Kevin Bacon, and now I'm less than 3 people away from her now. So it's like, okay, I just need to prepare just in case it happens. Now I'm worried about Dylan. So where is he? Because I haven't seen his name anywhere. So like, it worries me that because the one time I have seen him since that happened.
You were one show away from her when you were at Rockfest.
Yeah.
One show away from her.
What do you mean? Well, yeah, no, I've seen her every time I've gone to festivals like that. I've almost bumped into her every single time. I've been this close to her so many times at the water stations. I don't know why I see her so damn much is why it's bothering me.
Why haven't you said something?
Because I wasn't the one who left it off on bye-bye. It was her. So I don't feel like I should be the one to do that, because I feel like it's only going to bring up.
Has she noticed you?
Not that I'm aware of. But I mean, I don't.
How does she not notice you?
That's what I'm going to say. That's what I'm saying. It's because at Warped Tour, she got out of a fucking no, it was not. I'm getting the details mixed up. I got out of the fucking the porta potty, and that was the one she was waiting on.
And you're over 6 feet tall.
Yeah. Because the thing is, I'm pretty sure she did notice, but trying to make sure like she doesn't, because she's keeping her head down or keeping whatever else. I don't know.
Flip-flops, basketball shorts, top, small backpack, dual-colored hair, over 6 feet tall. Like,
that's what I'm saying. That's why I don't say anything, because I feel like.
Do you think that maybe she did and just didn't acknowledge?
Yeah, and that's why I think it's not my responsibility to do that, because she doesn't want to.
Well, yeah, if someone's not going to acknowledge you, then.
Yeah, because it ended on some stupid stuff that's.
I guess,
Again, it was very immature. Like, it didn't warrant the restraining order she got on me.
Like, she got a restraining order?
Yeah, because.
Did it go through and actually?
Yes, because I wasn't able to fight it or whatever. It was so stupid. It was for 2 reasons. Because I was picking up, because I graduated a year after or before they did, and this has happened like that summer. I was picking up a friend from the school, and they saw me there. So that was one instance where they thought I was stalking them. The other instance was alumni go to pep band events to help play just because for fun.
Somebody else thought you were stalking?
No, she apparently saw me. So
but you weren't
there. I was there to pick up a different friend.
Okay.
And then there's an alumni thing.
But if she is in a relationship with you, why it doesn't matter?
At the time she wasn't, because that was like right after she broke up with me.
Oh.
So the other thing was.
Is she paranoid or what? That's so weird.
I don't know.
That's strange, man.
The other incident was I went to.
I don't know her. Maybe, so it's different
right,
for females.
But the other incident was, again, like I said, alumni go to pep band events. I figured she had a special occasion because she lived far away from the school, where we're supposed to show up to 2 pep band events for our quarter whenever we're supposed to for our grade. And she had an exception where she only had to do 1 because she lived so far away. So I figured out of the 20 plus we have, I maybe want to go to 1 or 2. What is the odds that she's going to go to the one that I go to? Apparently that time. But at the time, too, it was like she was ignoring me and everything, trying to make it seem like we're enemies now. But at the same time, she said that we were still friends or whatever. But then
sounds like you were already over it. Like you're already
I was just trying to like be like, why are you lying to me? Why is this happening? So like I passed by her truck, like again happenstance. I was just leaving and I recognize her truck. It's the only one of its kind in the whole town, and then I see her messaging on it, bright as hell. So I'm like, okay, well she's clearly just ignoring my messages because it's been hours, whatever. When she finally gets back to me, she lies about all this stuff. So it was just like a string of lies or whatever. Again, it was just immaturity that whatever. I didn't handle it well. I was too blunt and aggressive about it. So I had a lot of mental health issues too. But here's another connection. The connection was I tried moving on after all this stuff happened, got the restraining order. And then I went to Snake Eyes' house. That's where we're going to not dox him because, that's on our other podcast. So he was my best friend at the time. And these people 2 houses across the road started becoming friends with us. Sure as shit, this Robert that I was afraid of, that she was mentioning a lot because she flirts with other dudes and says, I don't know how to flirt, but she does it with other dudes in front of me before we broke up, and she's mentioning this Robert guy. Sure enough, this Robert guy is the same Robert that I'm hanging out with. I didn't even know it was him because I was hanging out with the other people that lived at that house. And sure enough, I see her dropping Robert off. I'm like, how the hell does this coincidence shit keep happening? How am I supposed to get over this?
Maybe you're getting stalked, man.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm like, this is so backwards. This feels wrong.
I don't know, man. It's just, I think that when you encircle yourself with the people that you're associated with, I just think that they come around, man. It's
yeah.
like the people I know, they're the people that come around, and the people that are mutual with them, they come around.
Well, I'm going to put this in a not a bad light. Because again, I'm pretty sure both of us matured. I don't know the kind of person she is now. She's probably just, it was mistakes of teenagers that we were. I was very suicidal at the time we were together, which is what put a big strain on her end of the relationship. She felt like I was pushing her to be the fix to my problems, but she basically made it like I was the only issue. I started dating Robert's sister, and she went through the same exact thing I did, but she actually ended up killing herself. Eventually, it came back to me that Brittany here had blamed me for her death because I was the one who made it worse, despite her entire family saying that I had been the reason that she stayed around longer.
That's tough, man.
So that's the thing that I don't feel like I can not say fuck you about if I ever meet her, because it's, how can you say that about me when, but have the opposite reaction toward her? Am I the problem toward her and then you were the problem toward me? Or because you didn't come to my savior and so I didn't come to her like whatever. I don't know, but you can't, it's not a two-way thing. She had her own problems and she killed herself. I don't know if there was something I could have done. Maybe I wasn't mentally strong enough to help.
It might be just a short circuit in the coping mechanisms.
Something. I don't know. But either way, like, people need something to blame. I get it. But because I just don't know how it went wrong, because we were still communicating despite the restraining order.
Sure.
Because we had made a made-up language, and we had communicated through making that language through a different social media where you post pictures. So it's like nobody's understanding what the hell that says, but then me and her do. So it's like, clearly you still want to communicate and be friends, but then you're blaming me for all this. Again, so like it's just bugging me how close I am to her without being close to her, and how it's just the way it's resolving, the way that it keeps creeping closer. I just don't want it to blow up again if it happens.
That was so long ago, man. If I were you, I wouldn't worry about it at all.
No, I mean, the thing is, well, like, I kind of like going between the Buddha line and the worrying about it. Worrying about it, you suffer twice. But if you worry enough, you learn. Once you learn, you need to stop worrying. So I don't know where I'm at with that. If I need to continue to worry, or if I've learned enough and I'm matured enough, because I just don't want negativity with people that I'm around. It's like, I could see how it can cascade into, oh, well, now because, again, it's just because by not mature people, where like, if somehow me and her had a fight, and then all of a sudden friends of your friends or whatever would come and cascade, like it would cause problems because of this stuff. I'm like, I don't see how, but it's possible.
Yeah.
My brain can see all these conclusions, but of course that's just anxiety.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, that's the root of it.
Yeah.
It's hard to say that. It's hard to be like, oh yeah, don't worry about it, when sometimes it becomes autonomous when you do. Because, and it's not because like you continuously have these thoughts of what ifs. In your instance, it's like, this happened, this happened, this happened, this happened, this happened, this happened. And it just keeps happening. No,
I think I've learned enough. Until you know somebody, you don't know if they've learned. Because I'm pretty sure I accepted it after Aurora had died, because her family wanted to write a not so nice letter to her in the thank yous to whenever you send them out after the people attend the funeral.
Yep.
They were going to be like not terrible about it, but they wanted to let her know that they did not appreciate that. I kept it on me for like a year. I didn't let it get sent out. And then eventually I threw it out because I'm like, she doesn't deserve that kind of, it doesn't matter.
That's mature.
I mean, I guess some days I wish that I kept it just so I can have evidence, but I'm like, I don't need evidence. Who cares? It's all about what I feel and what I'm going to react to it and how I'm going to deal with it.
It doesn't matter, man.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. You know, I think people do change. I think people, you know, with maturity, there's change, with learning, with growing, all that type of stuff. So, person she was then, I don't know. I have doubts that she is that.
No, because I'm sure, you know, because where both of us were, we were just hurt people that hurt people.
Hurt people hurt people.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
Yep.
so, like, I'm pretty sure both of us have kind of gotten out of that. We've found our own ways. I mean, nobody's perfect. Nobody's completely healed.
And you don't know. If there is lack of acknowledgement and bumping into you, it could be due to embarrassment. It's hard to say. She could be ashamed.
Well, I mean, heck, like, what if she realizes the wrong she's done and she feels like that I hate her?
How could I show? Yeah, right. You don't know. You don't know someone's perspective unless you have that conversation. So it might not be about the fuck you. I'm not gonna give you the time of day because if you want to do it, or if you feel like you need to do it, because if you get into a situation where it starts cascading towards negativity, you can always create distance.
Yeah.
But if there's recourse and then there's forgiveness, well, then you don't have to form like a complete relationship, but at least you can have like closure in what you're feeling.
Yeah.
At least that's the way I feel about it.
No, I think it's just like it also hit a big spot because of like all those things I'd mentioned, but also because that was the first friend who actually gave a shit about me. Like everybody else in my life just were so self-centered. And that was the only person who actually showed like they wanted to be around me. We had such similar interests. She actually showed me a lot of the shit that, heck, if it wasn't for her, I probably wouldn't have gotten into the music I got into. Like that, it was just such a significant marker, and that's why it weighs on me. But it's not. It's difficult because it's like if like you're making a mural of shit, and then parts of your life that affected you, and then you kind of like splay them out like Charlie Day on that one meme where it's like all these connections or whatever. It's just a big chunk of it, and I can't avoid it is all.
Yeah.
So like I feel like it has more meaning than it does, but it's really, if anything, it's really just a connecting piece. And if it connects later, whatever, I'm not going to worry about that. I still got to worry about my own stuff. I got to worry about my own projects, my own music, my own this and that.
Yep.
Like nothing I can do about it now.
Yeah. No, that's just it too.
It could be that David and Goliath situation where life is just preparing me for whatever it is I need to do.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of acceptance that has to come with it. You know, and it's going to be on both sides too. It's hard to tell, and it's hard to tell too, like especially if you spent that much time like away from if you want to call it a problem.
Yeah.
And then trying to compare the true perspective of the moment you had with the possible perspective that they have now.
Yeah.
And I think that's what creates the worry.
But that's the
deep down.
The problem is though, I'm stupid accurate with this. I don't like how accurate I am. I hate it and sometimes wish I didn't do this, which is why I felt like I was a prophet at one point. Eventually, sometimes, like I actually get, I almost cry sometimes when I'm wrong because I'm so happy about it. When it was something that wasn't good, obviously. It's not whenever it's like, oh crap, I'm wrong about a good thing. Like, but I'm not wrong about,
different, man.
I'm usually not wrong about things that culminate and line up and whatever. If it's just like one thing here, I'm like, oh, it's because I didn't have all the details. That's the only issue I ever come across is I don't have enough detail. Like the coup at work I told you about, like I didn't really have enough evidence, but every single time I was saying like, yeah, they're basically trying to get their money for themselves. And I don't care who I get in trouble right now, but my manager got a talking to. I don't know if she got in trouble, but she got a talking to because she gave us all excellent reviews. Because excellent reviews means we're going to get a bonus and it takes away from their bonus.
You mean the people that the people that did the talking to, they're the ones that get rewarded
if less hours spent working, less.
Why do you think they do that?
Because they're retarded. Because they don't understand.
Why do you think they do that?
Narcissism, retardation. Like, I don't know. Like, it's basically.
Why is it a corporate company policy to put it in line where these powerful people are the ones who get incentivized by the discouragement of hardworking people? Why do you think that is?
They have certain quotas, and they're too big of a company to really get personal. So they've been downsizing so much because overhead is a tax write-off. They have so much waste that they can write off. So they don't care if a lot gets waste. But yet somebody who is understaffed gets in trouble because he can't keep up with demand on Super Bowl weekend because he's the only person in the meat section and he's just doing as fast as he can. But he still gets a talking to about productivity and his priority management. It's because they're being very selfish and not understanding that more good workers will end up making the company so much better, because the amount of productivity and the amount of sales that could go up if they could keep up with it would be more than enough to pay for them and then some. Like whenever I'm in the deli, if I had extra time, when I gave a crap about the job, I would try to upsell and try to, get more people to buy that. I probably made enough sales just from doing that to pay me. And then I still did other things during the day.
It's strange is how these larger companies have to have, they seem to have their own economy, like internally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They have to hit certain markers, otherwise they feel like they're not doing right. But at the same time, if you just grow for the sake of growing, it's not going to work. If you grow for the sake of growing and doing the right thing, it always works.
Something that I'm starting to see more than I've ever seen is people who realize that they have these skills. They're taking those skills and they're going and doing it out on their own. And then they're making a lot more money. Of course, you have more responsibility, and there's definitely the case with the entrepreneur that you're going to be working a lot more, but temporary sacrifice of social esteem for a lifetime of what you actually really want.
Yeah.
What makes you happy, what drives you. Good example is there's someone who comes in to where I work who used to work for a company hauling equipment for them, basically.
Yeah.
And I saw him recently because he went and bought his own, and now he's doing it on his own. And I said, "How's that working out for you?" I mean, is it good? He says, "I'll tell you what. I don't have to be on call when the weather's terrible, and get out of bed at 2 a.m. to go on a busy highway in a snowstorm. I don't mind helping the people," he said, "but I'm doing this for like $22 an hour." He says, "Now that I have my own thing," he says, "I make in 2 days what I would make in 2 weeks where I used to work."
Yeah.
So if you were so content, if you were really content and you just had it stacked up and everything was good, you could work 2 weeks a year and have that time freedom.
Yeah.
And make the same amount of money. Don't change your lifestyle at all. Just if you're living below your mean, or and just living your regular lifestyle and you're content with everything, and then you have that time freedom. How amazing would that be?
Right. That's the goal of some of my projects, is to be able to get it out there, get enough royalties to stay afloat.
Just do what you love.
And then that way I can have all the time in the world to make and do whatever I want.
Yeah. So it's possible, and I see a lot more people doing it. It might be harder than it used to be for some people, because I think that just the overhead and the upfront capital and things like that. Yeah, if you don't come up with like an inventor's mindset, or like if you don't create something, if it isn't like a creative thing, like your game, it can be sold as a product that can be sold.
Yeah.
It's hard to start something that's like a service, because they have to pour all this money, like a ton of money, into it first before you can actually turn it around.
Well, being funny is actually a currency that never quits. Like, if you're consistently funny to the people that pay attention to you, you're going to have an audience forever.
Yeah.
That's like, even having intelligence that you bring to the table doesn't always keep them hooked, because like Joe Rogan was one of my guys that I listened to, like I'd fallen off listening to him, but the more funny he was, the more I listened to him. And then if it became more serious, it's like still interesting, but it's just not as hooking.
Yeah. Yeah. You see that? What do you think that is right there?
What? The photo?
It's not a photo. I painted that. I listened to Joe Rogan the entire time I painted it.
Yeah.
I got through so many episodes because it took me like 40 hours to do it.
I was going to say, it's like a few days project.
But I noticed the same thing. Like when he had a lot of comics on and stuff, and there was banter back and forth where it was comedy. And the reason why I feel that way is because in our recent society over the past 6 years or so, I felt like we were like, I still feel we're a wounded society, but I felt like we were like bleeding out. And when I started paying attention to the humor, and then I started doing this for Rowena's Christmas gift, and started paying attention to the humor, like then I was like, okay, now I'm starting to realize that in a way society is starting to heal.
Yeah.
And yeah, like, and I think that the reason why it helped me, like it draws attention to people, is because I shouldn't say it's comfort. I should say it's what we're looking for right now that we're missing.
Well, and the problem with it is that it actually takes not intellect, it takes information and knowledge for things to be funny.
Yeah.
And context a lot of the times, because people make political jokes, but then
Sure.
it's because they're too on one side or the other, they're too attached to it, to where like you can't make fun of it, you can't do that, or they don't know the thing you're making fun of enough to see the humor.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I've made fun of both sides all the time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Sure.
the way Trump speaks a little bit, I can't do his voice or whatever, but like I do the little hand gestures and shit.
Yeah.
Like that's funny shit.
Yeah.
The people on the right sometimes fucking hate it, but then they laugh along too. But
Yeah.
the left is a little harder to joke with, but they sometimes can. But you have to joke about the middle or the right, is whatever. But
Well, it's good to have a sense of humor, I don't think, I think it'd be good. It's good for people to not lose that.
Yeah.
Not take yourself so seriously.
Yeah, exactly.
There's certain things that really like aren't funny. Like you and I, we have pretty dark sense of humor, so we'll just bring it there.
Yeah.
But it's not for everybody, obviously.
Well, like here, I don't want to get too much into politics, but like for examples, Charlie Kirk and Renee Good, two opposite ends of the same spectrums or different spectrum, whatever the heck. Those were both tragedies that didn't need to happen.
No, yeah.
And anybody happy about it is just brainwashed, and they don't know the actual happenings of what's going on.
Yeah. I agree. You should not be celebrating people's deaths like that.
Right. So but at the same time, then when you understand it, you can joke without being malicious.
Right.
Like the shot of Charlie getting shot was like when he was like, it's like when you have to sneeze but can't. There's funny stuff like that. Or when Joe Biden was walking down the plane steps, it's like, and you hear the song, when your legs don't work like they used to before, and he just fucking tumbles. Yeah. Shit like that's funny. It's tragic, but funny. Yeah. But if you're so hard set on being one side or the other, or whatever you're attached to, you're not going to find humor, and you're actually going to be very uptight.
Well, there's a lot of people too that, and I'm an instance of this case where I really have to use humor to actually cope with that, to process grief, to process grief and stuff like that. And it's like you have to be like a certain level of things happen to you. You don't have to. I am a certain level of things that I've been through.
I think it's a different soup. Like I don't mean to cut you off, but things are like soup. Everything is an ingredient. Sometimes you recognize it because of certain ingredients, but when another one is added, you still recognize it, but there's something slightly different. Each person and activity or anxiety, everything can be considered soup.
It might be my need to want to lift other people up, to make people feel like, hey, I went through that shit. This is a really dark joke. I saw you, like it made you laugh. I'm trying to tell you that I'm okay without telling you that I'm okay. So it's like, if I could make fun of myself, join me.
Yeah.
This is kind of the way, yeah. So that's, yeah. That's what I believe about.
And then there's those people that go like, all right, I know you well enough. Are you okay, man? And then you're like, stop it. I'm trying to laugh.
No, I hear you, man. Yeah, no, we're almost at 2 hours here, so I think we're probably gonna
Oh,
wrap it
shit.
up.
Oh, well, should we go more about the topic?
Oh, hey, I've had episodes where I've led into it and it's gone off the topic.
Yeah.
So
I mean, one thing I was trying to get in there at one point was I definitely am too hard on people, but it comes from a good place. And people that know me well enough know that that's where, so like all my bluntness, all my aggressiveness, all this stuff comes from me trying to help somebody learn, because it makes me upset that they're going through that. Like, again, everybody has their own experience. So it's hard for me to cope with me being able to learn things so easily and then see somebody struggle. But then if they would, and again, I'm not the right way for everything, and everybody needs to learn, especially if I'm teaching them, they'll need to learn that I'm a decent teacher sometimes. It's just a trust thing. It's just essentially being blunt. I have found is to be the best way. It might not be the perfect way, but for me, my leadership stems from bluntness, because if you're not brutally honest about everything, the brain wants to lie. It wants to desperately about everything it's uncomfortable about.
really,
Oh yeah, no, like that. It's every person has to train themselves not to do it, because they eventually learn as a child, lying gets you out of some things. And the more you get away with it, the more you are doing it because it keeps working. And then as a person who could lie, you end up having more things to shield about. But then if you're more truthful, eventually those things start falling off and you have no choice but to be truthful. Otherwise, you're going to start a web of lies again. And then sometimes you could be good enough to circumnavigate it and it never comes back. But it's annoying. It doesn't help you grow. It just stops you from facing the problem.
oh yeah, for sure, man. One
Because,
thing
like,
I'm a big proponent on is accountability. Because I've observed people who don't have it. So without the accountability, they lack the respect from other people.
Yep.
And they avoid adversity.
Yep.
And by doing those things, they'll get to the end of their life cycle and they will dissolve in regret.
Yep.
And I don't want to feel that way.
No, that's exactly what I've realized and why I had to be truthful with everything. Right. It's like, even when I'm goofing off playing games, whenever there's a cutscene, and I'm glad the game I'm playing now has long cutscenes, I just start working out. I can't just do nothing. Like, I'm relaxing, having fun. I need my brain to relax because otherwise I will wither away. But I need to progress at the same time. Like, I don't think there's a day where I'm not anxious, but I don't realize I'm anxious because I'm so used to it.
Sure.
And that's probably why I have such trouble with sleep. But I'm always thinking about the ins and outs of everything I could be doing, and there's not enough time in the world.
No.
And so I compress it down to, how can I make this easier? How can I learn faster so I can get more of this done? But then I know myself. I'm just going to get a bigger stove with more burners, and I'm going to put more things on the back burner.
Yeah.
So I need to finish the things I'm making now.
Right. That very good mindset. Yeah, I used to be the same way. It's like I used to lay everything out like it was a tile. And I'm like, all of these bars need to load at the same time. And then realizing that it's like, no, I don't have that much time to do it because I've got friends, I've got family, I've got all these relationships. I have my job.
Yeah.
I have to take care of a house. I've got to take care of vehicles. I got to take care of pets. You got life. So I have to choose one or maybe two and just stick with them.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'll have all of these mediocre, unfinished attempts at achievement.
Yep.
Instead of a couple of things that I'm learning to master and turn into something tangible. And another thing I've really learned to do is dismiss perfectionism. I want things to be imperfect. Because then when things are imperfect for me, it creates sentimental moments when I'm creating them, when they're finished being created, and the way people can observe and enjoy them.
Yeah. Plus, not only that, we have to look at the thing of ourselves where, as a creator, we're going to notice all the small details.
Yeah.
Most people are just going to brush over them, not even notice. But it's like when you come across it, you're just going to stare. Like at any of those cards, there was small mistakes in those cards. Like I tried having a thing where I didn't capitalize articles, mostly just to save space and put things on the. But there was like 2 cards where I made that mistake and there wasn't a capital I where there should have been, and I'm just like, fuck. Just so mad at myself.
Yeah, you get those moments like when you're performing on stage and you screw up.
Yeah.
Like, I screwed up like 3 times.
Yeah, but then nobody notices.
Oh, there was this one time I got off and it's like they didn't realize that I was up there. I don't know. Forgot my face, I guess. Low light. And I loved it. I loved it because this never happens. So when you get off stage and you talk to everybody, like, great set, you did great, you did great. You don't hear what you want to hear. So this one time, it was like me and Nick got off and then like we went over to the bar just to talk to some people about how do you like it. This guy was talking to him and saying, "Yeah, it's really great, but your singer did this. He was off key here. This." He listed these mistakes.
Yeah, and
then he looks over at me, and I was like, "I'm the singer," and he was like, had that oh shit moment. Like I'm like, no, don't worry about it. Like you're the only person in here tonight that actually gave me something to work on.
Right.
You didn't give me perfectionism. You gave me the information I needed. I was looking at myself in every wrong light. Like, okay, I noticed 3 mistakes, but everything was also like wrong for me. Those were just the 3 big ones. And now you've pointed out this is what I really need to work on.
Yeah.
Because it's not about how I hear myself. It's about what they're enjoying and how they hear it, how they perceive it.
And like language and how you portray things are very important. Like I remember one of those shows where I could tell you were beating yourself up, but you're trying not to show it. I didn't give you that set of information, but I gave you the set of information like, hey, it's fine. Like you make mistakes, but don't worry about it. I was more in like I see he's worried, and the only thing that's going to help him notice the things he needs to improve is to not worry about them at this moment.
Yeah.
And I hope I did that at the time, but I'm not sure. It was very short lived.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, but no, I remember doing something kind of like that where I forgot the entire verse for a song that I made up. And I just made another one up on the spot. And it was an acoustic song, so it worked out well. But like, I was panicking so much, my legs were shaking so bad.
Oh, I bet that'd be so. No, that would be good on it.
Well, because we also had to like do an extra, like there's a little bridge between the verses, whatever. He extended the bridge by another half bridge just to give me more time to remember. But I'm like, no, screw it, I'm just gonna go and do it. And I didn't mess up. Like the video's on YouTube. Like I could probably go back and listen to it. And I don't want to because that was when I was really bad at music. But I only could sing like James Hetfield.
It's unbelievable to me how many, like we would play sets that are 13 songs long.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, so we practiced 4 of these songs twice this month.
Yep.
And it's unbelievable, the muscle memory, because we would start that song and up until the last note before I were to start singing, lyrics are not in my head. I have no idea.
Yep, I know that feeling.
Last note, all of a sudden it's there.
Yep.
It's so crazy.
I don't know what wave this is, but it's a wave that keeps on going up and down, up and then as it keeps going, it's little and little. It's reaching toward what you want as perfectionism, where the top range is you're doing it right, but you're not doing it cinched. Whereas on the bottom, you're doing it wrong, but you're kind of noticing your mistakes. So you essentially were on one of those uphills.
Sure.
Where you are with it, you're with it, but it's like, it's not perfect, but it's good enough to the point where like it's there. Yep. So like, but at the time, because you have so much energy, you don't even notice the mistakes because you're just so happy that you're doing it. Or like, does that make sense? Because that's what's happened to me before.
Yep. No, it's like to a T.
But I don't know about you, but with every band I've been with, I've had to be the only person to just go, let's go, guys.
No.
I mean, like when I tried doing stuff with you, I didn't technically have to do that because you were also helping with that.
Yeah.
But other than that, I'm like, I don't know. It's kind of hard to get people that want to do things and do the work.
Yeah, I don't know, man. For the most part, I think we just kind of we just had fun.
Yeah.
Right? We had some troubles for a while where it was hard for everyone to get together to get to practice and stuff, but that happens sometimes.
No, that one was the most understandable situation I've been in, where the other groups I've been in, it's like you have the free time, you have the ability, you have me as a resource. I made it as easy as possible for you by tabbing the things out. You basically just have to learn by yourself sometimes and then come back with us. Not even then, or just use it as a reference when we're playing.
We were a unique band. We were like, so the analogy would be is like you're hungry, but you didn't take anything out for dinner, so you open your fridge and you have all these leftovers, right?
Yeah.
And you throw all that shit together and just cook it up all together. It's like 3 meals worth of leftovers of different stuff. And you're like, I don't know how this is going to turn out. And then you taste it and it's like, this is delicious. That's Forever and Gray. That was Forever and Gray. You've practiced with us before.
Yeah.
We just get together and it's just like we feed off of what we're feeling. And it's like, that's how we write music. It's like, oh, like, it's like music theory? What the?
Yeah, it's so
what is that?
It is foreign to me, but like it's only foreign to me as a final product. Because I would start off doing stuff like that because we did kind of make like a super awesome intro, and then like for me, I need to be able to structure it later to tweak every little thing that's wrong, and then we can really reshape all the edges. And if there's something that doesn't fit or could fit better, we can physically see it.
Yeah.
So like I think both are necessary, where you need what Forever and Gray had, do that naturally, and then know why it is the way it is. But yeah, I don't know. It's not everybody's got that leadership quality. Not everybody wants truth. And the problem is that people need truth. How you get it to them is the challenge. And also, well, actually, the first challenge would be making sure that you are on the right path of making sure that you're correct, so that you're not steering other people wrong.
Yeah, and and you're also not in charge of them accepting it or not.
That's the hardest part for me, because I can lay it out as clear as day why somebody is just being arrogant or this or that. Not even just pointing out that way, just being like, oh, they think this thing, like, let's say a simple math equation. They're saying 4 times 3 equals 13 because they just don't know how it works. And I lay it out for them, show it in dots, 3 by 4 dots, and there's actually 12 dots there. They can physically count them. And so I show that's why it's 3 by 4, and they still won't understand it. That's what drives me crazy. Is because they're explaining things that bluntly, but it's because they're so they're holding on tightly to their previous beliefs. It's like building a house. You built it the wrong way, and you have to cut it down from the bottom because you built the wrong thing the right way. Like some people build things the right, or at least good enough to where it's livable, and they can make adjustments. But some people have an entire structure that they have to redo, and that's what's frustrating, is when you meet somebody like that on any subject that their structure's just messed up on. But at the same time, it does teach you how to restructure your own build. Because then whatever mistake you were making to not succeed there, you're going to take for the next person, or learn how to do it with this person. Like the amount of people that I'm never going to get through to them.
Yeah.
I've gotten through to almost every one of them given enough time.
Right.
So it just takes effort, time, caring, actually seeing what the meaning of what you're doing is.
See, I'm more of the type of person who I'll deliver the truth and shut the door. So like I'm the mailman, right? And here I got this piece of mail, and you got the slot in the door. Well, this piece of mail is the truth, and I'll slide it through, and I'll shut the slot. I'm not standing at the door waiting for you to open up with a response.
Seeds.
I'm like, okay, there you are. Whether you accept it or not, that's your decision. I'm not going to try and.
I think I do that sometimes, but the more, I don't want to call them stupid, but less intellectually gifted people, they just kind of coast through life. Yeah, I mean, you've met plenty of these people where like they haven't had to work that hard because either their family's super supportive or they just haven't had a real reason to just get off their ass. They have a lot harder time accepting things like that. And so I understand the complexity of how the truth bomb that I would be giving them. So you need to give them a little bit more room to wiggle in. Otherwise, they're just going to throw away the letter like it's a dumb credit card offer. But if you actually make it more enticing and give them a little bit of hope in there or a little bit of, question mark that they're going to leave, then it works because not all seeds planted will grow.
Oh, no.
But I mean, that method helps the self the best, the way that you're doing it. You did your job. For some reason, my brain kicks myself and says, nope, that's not enough. Not all the time. Because like with Lydia, I don't stop until she understands. Because we're trying to have a long-term relationship. So it needs to be 100% communication so that we understand each other.
Yeah.
And it gets to a point where like we're fighting, but then when it finally clicks for her, she's like, "Oh shit, I am sorry that I was misinterpreting all of this." And like it's upsetting that it's usually one-sided like that most of the time, especially since whenever she does catch me being wrong, she's able to point it out, and I'm like, "Oh shit, yeah." And so like that's, I don't want to air out her laundry, but I mean she struggles with that. She struggles with accepting things, but she's grown a long way. And that's why I keep doing stuff like this, is because I know I can help people. I've been able to like just give some guidance to the point where like, hey, maybe it's just one stepping stone. But either way, that keeps them from dropping in the river.
Well, on the way I see it is like my truth is a formulation of my researched opinion.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, it's very important to have compromise. Like if there's cases where it's like if they don't accept what you're saying, I like to try if I give an attempt, I like to try to figure out why. Because there's a reason, there's a truth in their head.
Yeah.
If they tell it to me, then we can reach this place called compromise.
Right. I like to figure out, I like to lay out, because like you said, it's an opinion, really. I mean, it could be objective truth, but who knows? Having that a compromise of where you need to be able to tell them why you think what you do, and not just give them the idea, and also figure out why they think what they think. And so it's just multiple pieces of, like you said, just culminated things together that is why you formed your opinion.
Yep.
So if you make them understand why, then it's like, oh, they're not just thinking up this thing randomly.
No.
They're just thinking it because of this reason, because again, it's information you don't have.
Yeah.
And that's how I don't figure out the things that I'm not able to figure out, is I just don't have the information. Mm-hmm. And if you have all the right information, yeah. So I mean, I don't really know how to. There's not really one way to explain being a leader, I guess, and I don't even view myself as one. I view myself as just doing what I have to do.
Yeah, that's same here, man.
But that's also part of the acceptance. I have trouble accepting that I do have these abilities. I do have this stuff, because that is holding me back. But at the same time, I fear narcissism.
I just try to be helpful. I try to not deny people. And it's like when other people are trying to help me, instead of not asking for it, actually getting the help, it's like, I don't want to deny them either. It's just reciprocated help.
No, I mean,
I want people to do well. I want things to get better. I feel like we're at a place in this country that a lot of people are not comfortable with.
Yeah.
And I think that things can be better. That's the whole reason why I started this. And
I mean, the problem that I see with most of this stuff that we've talked about is narcissism and ego. It's looked at in a weird way. I've researched this stuff to death because narcissism is basically what has caused all of my traumas. The narcissism is kind of a disease, but it's also a helpful thing. It's needed somewhat for survival, but at the same time, too much is really bad. The ego ties into it way too much. So like we could just say it's one thing. become narcissists. Everybody's a narcissist in their own way, but they become it more and more due to circumstance that they can't control. Eventually, it does become self-perpetuating.
Yeah.
But that's at the point where you can turn it to a new crux and learn and grow. And that's usually where all those things I'm talking about where I struggle is because people don't want to, because they've have all these experiences that turn them into this thing.
Yeah.
And so it's what type of narcissist are you? And how are you going to turn yourself into being a 50-50? I don't know. It's more of a broad thing to put on that. I had more of an idea on that, but that's kind of how I view the way I go through the world. Is like, I look at it through everybody's a narcissist, but they're not. I am also a narcissist. How am I viewing this? Am I being a doormat? Am I being a narcissist? Am I being a human? In the middle is human. On the one side of it is narcissism. On the other side of it is the doormat.
Well, I think that just everybody has an atmosphere that surrounds them, too. It's you don't notice anything outside of what you're rendering.
Yeah.
Right. You'll have things that are remote, like in your mind, like how is this person doing, and they might not be physically in front of you, but as far as your situation, what's going on, like if you're living, you're going to be living where you're living. You're going to be.
Yeah.
So it takes imagination to pull yourself out of that, but yes, in what you're saying, everyone in their own rights has a level of narcissism.
Right, but I feel like if you can hone that in, that's essentially what helps you grow and live life.
Yeah.
Because narcissism is what stops you from living. It keeps you from wanting to have the natural brain to lie. Like, some people don't have that because they haven't had the circumstances to turn them into that narcissist to make them do that. They just become a normal person going through their life.
Yep.
But then they haven't had other realizations because they haven't had trauma. So it's just, again, it's another soup.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
some people are potato soup. Some people are ice cream soup. I don't know.
Alphabet soup. Yeah. Whatever they may be.
Yeah. Like I said, I don't really know how to.
I prefer, or not prefer. I refer to myself as lobster bisque.
I identify as any shellfish. Because as narcissism, I am very shellfish.
Narcissism, you're very shellfish.
Exactly. But yeah, I don't, like I said at the beginning, I don't really know how to portray what leadership is. It's just be an example and try to learn from yourself. So like, again, I didn't start viewing the narcissism thing until I attacked it in myself. And so like, until I get something down, I don't try to teach others. So it's like, the blind leading the blind. You have to become at least the one-eyed man.
Sometimes it can be a pretty hard fall too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like when you start to reflect, you're like, fuck, I've been a shitty person. It comes around, man. That's just the whole thing. That's
exactly why I don't blame people for what they did back then. Cause it's like, hey, we didn't learn, we were stupid. And like, that's the reason why there's a certain adult age, because people are dumb.
Yeah.
And some continue to be dumb past that age. Some are dumb before that age, whatever. But it's a general thing because usually people are just dumb up to a certain point. And it's not even being dumb sometimes. Sometimes it's just surviving.
Yeah. Sometimes, or not acquiring the emotional intelligence quite yet.
Yeah.
There's different scenarios, but
now we could beat this.
When somebody consciously causes harm is when it's different, but
but even then, is it conscious in the moment? Because why is that person bad? Because it's again, their circumstance leading up to the point. If they thought there was a better option, why wouldn't they have taken it? Because their life has taught them that is the option at that point. And sometimes everybody's been in a situation where they realized in hindsight they could have not gotten themselves into there, but they're at that situation now. How are they supposed to get themselves out in the best way possible?
Some just don't discern between right and wrong too. They don't know the difference.
Right, exactly. They don't know the difference. Exactly. But once they do, because they don't know what empathy or sympathy or they haven't learned it.
Yeah.
So like, I'm pretty sure every person's good at the bottom of their heart, but it's programming that has taught them that this is the way to be, because that's the only way to survive. Because essentially that's what we're trying to do, is survive and just live life, because the only thing that people really have an issue with is gaining resources so that they can live.
Yeah.
And if that wasn't a problem, everybody would be happy.
Right.
But of course, we need fuel, we need food, we need shelter, we need water, all this stuff that you can't just store forever.
No.
And so there needs to be some knowledge of upkeep and some work, no matter what. Like even if I become this rich ass person that doesn't want to do projects anymore, I feel like I'm gonna still want to do work of some sort because it'll drive me crazy.
Yes.
But even then, like I don't know. I want to say that I won't go mad with power, and I would help people with my money. But who knows? Maybe some people are supposed to be poor for a reason.
Yeah, it could be true, man. But man, I appreciate you coming on the podcast and just hanging out.
Yeah, no problem.
You know, I mean, it's only been about 3 weeks since we've seen each other. It's always good to get together. So
yeah, I mean, there's a million things to go over, so we'll never get to the end of it. So yeah,
yeah, and you're definitely welcome back anytime. Thank you for being my first guest.
Yeah,
this is episode number 8 of No Room for Comfort podcast. But
no, that's why I revealed some stuff that I wasn't gonna reveal. I'm like, that's the whole thing of the podcast. Screw it.
Yeah, so there's a platform for it, man.
Exactly.
On YouTube and Twitch. Thanks everybody for joining us. Everyone have a great rest of your night. Yeah.
Here's the rest of my face, by the way.
There he is. Any questions about this topic or previous episodes, or if you want to be a calling guest, No Room for Comfort podcast at gmail.com. This episode will be on Spotify along with the rest. Also on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. You guys know the drill. You guys have a good rest of your night. Thank you.